Yet another video about another failure of the game. I really wish I could produce more positive videos for you guys, but right now, the game has so many flaws that it'll be a disservice to not give feedback to Massive about them. What's up you guys, Gong here. So, gear sets. Who gives a shit, right? They're useless anyway. And that's a big problem that is critical to the health of the endgame and needs to be addressed. Gear sets are supposed to excite you. When you first discover the extra talents or abilities that they grant you, they are supposed to make you go, "Holy bejesus, I want that!" And this has happened before in The Division 2, namely with the Nemesis and now the Eagle Bearer. So the devs aren't totally clueless. Gear sets are also supposed to be long-term goals that you work towards and give you an immense power spike when you get the specific pieces that you are looking for. That is the entire purpose of what set items are at their core, to reward the player for putting in the time and effort to make a complete set, to reward the player for getting 2 pieces of a set, and then 3, and then 4, 5, 6 of them, dramatically increasing his or her power as he or she obtains more and more pieces. There needs to be an obvious and blatant power creep. There's a goal to work towards for the player, and a huge emotional reward at the end. That's why Massive completely dropped the ball on it, because neither of these exists. Gear sets don't excite us, and they aren't worth working towards. It is completely counterintuitive to make gear set abilities that are of average power. It defeats their entire purpose. Why bother putting in so much effort for something that is only of average power? Or worse, of lesser power. And that's exactly what's happening in the game right now. There's zero motivation to farm for gear sets. There's a theory that's going around that the devs might be afraid that if they make gear sets too powerful, that's all that players will ever use, and all other gear becomes irrelevant. This way of thinking is drastically flawed for 2 key reasons. The first reason is that fundamentally, gear sets are supposed to be the most powerful items in any game, and just as importantly, they are supposed to evoke very strong positive emotions. Take a good look at any successful looter games that have gear sets. Let's look at the granddaddy of them all, Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 after the 2.0 loot update. Look at these set bonuses! Griswold's Legacy. 2-piece is nice, plus 20 strength. 3-piece is very nice too, 30 dex. But holy shit, look at a 6-piece bonus. Plus 3 to all paladin skills. What in the holy? 30% faster hit recovery, all resistances plus 50, and a really freaking cool aesthetic aura to boot. This is what set bonuses should be about. Exactly what I said at the beginning. A holy shit reaction, followed by a damn, I really want that. I'm going to spend the next 1000 hours farming that if that's what I need to do to get it. Now let's look at another example for more recent memory from Diablo 3. Let's take a look at the Demon Hunter set, the Marauder set. Just with 2 pieces, I can now have all my companions out. That is super cool. Now I can have an army of animals at my side. With 4 pieces, my sentries now shoot the same special arrows that I'm shooting. What? That is game changing and uber cool. It isn't just a simple number that's slapped on like 10% LMG damage or something. And the 6-piece set. Holy crap. With every additional sentry that I set up, my skills do... I don't even know what that number is. Look at the number of zeros on that thing. I want that. I want this set. I mean, I already have it on my own Demon Hunter, but you get my point. The gear sets in the Division 2 right now are the complete opposite of this. They don't evoke immediate positive reactions. They are confusing, they leave us scratching our heads, and leave us with a lukewarm reaction. Is this good? Is this not good? Does this suit my playstyle? No freaking clue. We are unsure of whether these sets are even good just in theory. And when we actually get them, they're even worse than we thought. There is no holy shit reaction. There is no motivation of, I want to spend the next week camping in my home just farming the crap out of this because the reward isn't fulfilling enough. But this line of thought doesn't only apply to Diablo. The Division is an RPG, right? So let's look at other online RPGs. Set items have also existed in MMOs. Look at World of Warcraft. Powerful set items that you obtain from raids have always existed, and provided a very powerful emotional carrot for players to strive towards, raiding for months on end, week after week, just to obtain the set bonuses. And guess what? When they were removed in the recent expansion, for God knows what reason, it was met with extremely negative backlash. You cannot create set items that only provide a lukewarm feeling. They must radiate power, they must signify status, and they must reward effort. The second reason of why I feel Massive's current line of thinking is really flawed is that gear sets don't necessarily equate to a lack of build variety. In the Division 1 after patch 1.8, there was absolutely no lack of build variety because there were multiple sets that all made sense and fulfilled the above criteria that we mentioned that people could use. There were sets for tanking, there were sets for healing, short range DPS, long range DPS, different guns, and different skill builds. It is almost embarrassing. No, in fact, it is embarrassing in comparison to these generic yellow color brand sets that we now have that everyone is using. These brand sets have no emotional value. No one really cares or gets attached to them. Ever heard about anyone saying, "Oh, I love my 3-piece Sokolov set so much"? No. But you hear players speaking fondly of their Striker set, having great memories of their Dead Eye set, or how the FIRECREST set was just an absolute beast. These are the kinds of emotions that you want to draw out from players. Gear sets need to matter. They have always been the most powerful items in any looter game because they inherently take a long time to collect and complete. Massive has spent a lot of time and effort trying to reinvent things that weren't broken in the first place. Set items have worked in the same way for literally 2 decades, and breaking its very fundamentals has only resulted in a disaster. I appreciate the fact that they took the effort and creativity to try something new. And there's nothing wrong with these new fancy things like drawing different cards for the sharpshooter set or lobbing off a grenade at an enemy when you get attacked for the demolitionist set. But they have to be powerful. Extremely powerful, and even more so since gear sets don't even come with talents. Either you create more interesting set bonuses but still stick to the fundamentals of the set items being powerful, or you do away with set items altogether, like in Path of Exile where there exists nearly no set items. At a certain point, the devs have to admit that they aren't working. I think we're all in agreement here that we would rather they admit their mistakes and work on something new than stubbornly try to make something work that clearly isn't going to. Enough is enough. If they want to stick with set items, they have to buff them up and make gear sets matter again.